Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and happy Friday everyone. I have got 4 looks to show you, or 4 makes to show you, where I've used my January Destashify fabric, which is very exciting to share all 4 of those with you today. But before we get into that, today is Friday, which means not only do we have a Feature Friday pattern from Love Notions, which is the Margot Peplum. And I've recently made a Margot Peplum because I'm over on the Love Notions channel today, giving 5 tips for sewing knits on a sewing machine, and as well as showing off my new little Margot Peplum. This is the full bust medium. I shortened the sleeves by half of an inch, I think, or 3/4 of an inch. Left the bodice as is, again, full bust front. But then I shortened the peplum by 6 inches because I want to be able to wear it with my flares. So I didn't want it too terribly long to where I look disproportionate. I think the longer skirt length looks great if you've got like a straight leg or a skinny jean on, or even like a straight skirt. But if you have a little bit more volume in the leg or at the bottom, I kind of like this crop length. Catherine Holbrook from Bringing Sewing Back on Instagram had a little sweater on the other day that had just like a little short little peplum on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really cute. I'm going to do that with the Margot. So that is what I did, and talking about that again over on the Love Notions channel. But you can get the pattern today for $5 only, today only, on the 23rd of February, 2024. And if you use code 10TKS, you can get an additional 10% off that sales price. So it takes a little bit extra off that sale price, which is exciting and always good. So definitely head over there if you are interested. Okay, let's get into today's video. I have got 4 things to show you. Let's start with what's behind me though. I didn't want to bring my rack all the way in here just to show you one thing, or 2 things actually. Okay, so I've got 3 basic outfits. I had extra left over of this fabric, so I went ahead and made myself a pair of matching shorts. So basically like 3 outfits that we've got here from my fabrics for that I grabbed from Destashify last month. Now, I'm feeling very spring, and these have absolutely influenced the direction that my spring capsule wardrobe is going. So I'll be talking about my spring capsule wardrobe on Tuesday, going through the colors that I'm picking and all that jazz. And if you are subscribed to the newsletter, so make sure you are if you're not, on Monday, that newsletter that goes out is going to have my spring capsule checklist, what I'm putting into my spring capsule, and then an empty checklist for you guys to fill out whether you're going into spring or fall. Also, self-promotional note here, my birthday sale is still going on, and if you would like to try out any of my 3 current digital classes, those are all 10% off with the code WHITBDAY10. I'll put that right here. But yes, you can go over there and grab any of those 3 classes for 10% off from now and through the end of the month, through the 29th. So if you have been interested in any of those 3 classes and want to try those out, I highly recommend you head over there for that. And that my store is linked down below, but it's just tomcatstitchery.com/store will also get you over there. Okay, let's start talking about what I have made. So we'll talk about, actually, let's talk about this first because you guys have just seen this. We'll talk about this one first. So the first thing that I made, and again, you guys saw this on Tuesday, so if you were here on the channel for the new release of the newest Love Notions pattern, you've seen this one, but this is the newest pattern from Love Notions, the Aurora, which is comes as a tunic or a dress, and I made the dress version here in a medium with a full bust, shortened the bodice an inch, shortened the skirt an inch, and left the sleeves as is because I used the 3/4 length sleeves and then did the little ruching effect there on the sleeve. Again, I talked ad nauseum about this on Tuesday, but this is the newest Love Notions pattern, which means it's still on pattern release sale. So you can still get it on sale, I think, through Monday. So definitely grab it if you haven't already. And again, my code 10TKS will get you an additional 10% off that sale price as well. So if that's one that you've been eyeing, it's a really great pattern, and I cannot wait. I've already been wearing my green one, but cannot wait to wear this one as soon as the weather warms up just a little bit more. But this fabric is a beautiful cotton modal spandex blend that I grabbed from Destashify, and they still, the seller still has some yardage of this. So if this is one that you're interested in, I've linked it down below. And as of filming this, there was still some out there. So I can't make any promises. There wasn't a ton, but there was still a little bit out there, and I've linked it down below in the fabric. But this is the Aurora. Absolutely love it. This peach color is the corally peach. Not only is it the lighter pieces here are the color of the year, the Pantone color of the year, which is peach fuzz, I think. But this little salmony corally color is absolutely going into my spring capsule. And we will be seeing a lot of this on Tuesday, but then also as I start wearing my spring capsule as the weather starts to warm up here. I don't know. But yes, this is the first thing I made with my Destashify fabric. Absolutely love it. And yeah, highly recommend this pattern. It's a really good one. All right, the second thing I made were two patterns that I've made before in the past. And actually, this is a French terry, and all three of these fabrics came from the same seller, and she still has some of this. Again, as I was filming this, there was still some of this fabric left in her shop as well, if you're interested. But it's a beautiful, I think both of these are Robert Kaufman, French terry. This one's a French terry, that one's not. Absolutely beautiful. It goes with my tropical theme. I have done the Ali Olsen Hive pullover. And I even used a bright yellow zipper to bring in the yellow from the leaves and stuff that are in here. I also made a yellow Ali Olsen. Someone suggested, which I thought was a really good idea, to pipe the outline of this collar in the other yellow that I used, except it was too mustardy and it looked bad against the zipper that I chose for this. It probably could have fudged it if I'd gone with a white zipper, you know, like it probably would have, anyway. I decided to go with the pop of color in my zipper. But this is the size medium. I made this not that long ago, for one for myself and one for my daughter, and I shrunk mine, and my daughter now has two. So I've made two for myself. I made this one, and then you'll see the other one in my spring capsule. But I did go ahead and I lengthened, I think, you know, shrinking it, because when it shrunk in the length, and it was just, I mean, it showed my belly. It was unwearable. So I actually added an inch to the bodice of this one, and the yellow one you'll see on Tuesday. Just added the bottom, the front and back. I added an inch to the bottom. I just want to make sure that this doesn't ever shrink too much that I can't wear it. But I absolutely love this. I think it's a really beautiful print. I will be wearing this all spring long, both to the gym and also just as, you know, with jeans, you know, wearing it over something like this. It's going to be a great little layering piece. It's just like as a sweatshirt, but something a little bit more elevated. And I just think this collar on it is just really beautiful. And then the finish, because you've got the same fabric on the inside of the collar, it just finishes off really nicely. I've talked about this pattern before. Very glad to finally have a couple in my wardrobe that actually fit me. So yes, looking forward to this one. And I just used same fabric for the cuffs and for the bottom band because it's stretchy enough that I was able to do that. So anyway, there is my newest Ali Olsen Hive pullover. Very, very in love with that. And then I had some left over. And you guys know that I'm loving my swim style Carla loungewear pants and the top. But there's also a cutting line for shorts. So I thought, well, you know, I've got some of this left over. Let's go ahead and just make a pair of the shorts. So I did. I had to reprint this pattern out because when I made it the last time, I cut mine out and then I just cut the size down for my daughter and then cut her pairs out. And so I didn't have a pattern printed out that was my size. So I printed it out again, and I'm kind of wondering, I meant to cut out the large, but these are fitting me a little bit, not tight, but a little snugger than my pants fit me. So which doesn't make any sense, like through the hip area. So it's not even having anything to do with the legs, which makes me think, did I accidentally cut the medium when I was cutting my lines? You know, like, did I mistake the large line for the medium or the medium line for the large line? Anyway. So, I mean, these are going to be like work in the yard type shorts, loungewear shorts, those kind of things. I'm not really concerned. But it was just odd that these felt different. And I was actually wearing my Carla loungewear pants while I was sewing these. So even going back and forth and trying them on, I'm like, that's weird. So yeah, I could have totally messed that up. I intended to make a large, but I'm not entirely sure that that's what these are. My other pants are in fact a large, the Carla loungewear larges. But anyway, very comfortable. A great little use of the little bit of fabric that I had left over. And again, the seller still does have some of this fabric, and it's a beautiful French terry. If you'd like to add some tropical leaves to your wardrobe this spring or fall, depending on where you are, this changing seasons. Okay, so there's those. And finally, I have made a dress that I think is going to become a tried and true for me. So when we last met to talk about Stashify at the end of January, I had thought that I was going to make the Shelby dress by True Bias, which princess seams, very 90s, fit and flare dress, but without the waist seam, and totally intending to do that. But one of you commented, have you seen the Scroop Patterns Robin dress? It's just like the Shelby, but it has cup size options. Well, you guys know how I feel about a good cup size option. So I went over and looked at the Scroop dress, and I'm like, yes, that it is. It looks just, I mean, it doesn't come as a romper. It's just a dress. But I didn't really want the romper. But it came midi length, right above the knee length. There's a couple of different pocket options and a couple of different sleeve options. But the fit and flare, princess seams in the front and the back, no waist seam, and there are 3 busts. There's a small bust file, a medium bust, or a large bust. And the large bust is like a double D bust, which is the one I used. And I think that this may be a dress that I make up in all the fabrics. This may become my woven wanderlust. I just think it's, I mean, number one, it's very nostalgic for me because this feels just like a dress that I had, or dresses probably that I had in the 90s, except those dresses absolutely had shoulder pads in them. But this feels very reminiscent of that. So I made the size 40 with the full bust front, which I think that's fine now. I'm a little worried it's going to, I was like in between sizes, in between the 38 and the 40, but I want to be, I don't know. I thought if I need to take it in later, I can. I can just take, it's got multiple seams because again, I'm working out again. So I may, not that I'm expecting to lose a ton of weight, but I could go to the lower end of my normal range, which could make this dress maybe a little bit big. But if that happens, I'll just go in and sew up my seams a little bit tighter. So that should be pretty easy to alter if I need to. So erred on the side of going with the larger one on this one. And I think it'll work fine. I absolutely love this fabric. It's beautiful. This is the rayon file, which I've never worked with rayon file before, and is much more stable than, say, a rayon challis, or even a rayon crepe, really. I mean, I've worked with some more stable rayon crepes before. It just didn't feel like it was stretching out of place as much as a rayon challis or crepe. So very impressed with how this sewed. It pressed just like a rayon, but it didn't get wrinkly just from like sitting there like a rayon challis does, for instance. So I found this quite delightful to work with. There is no more of this fabric left, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I think this is just going to be a wonderful dress pattern. Again, I kind of want to make one in linen. I think making one, I use the flutter sleeves on this version, but there's also a straight short sleeve. So I keep thinking, yeah, maybe I need a linen version, maybe a cotton lawn version, maybe another like print and a challis. I don't know. I've got some really beautiful rayon challis prints in my stash that that would be beautiful with this dress. So anyway, big fan of this one, and it's a pretty quick sew. Other than having to put on, I think I put 14 buttons and buttonholes down the front of this, but the neck edge gets finished with bias tape, and well, technically the hem does too. But I actually did my trick, the baby hem trick with the band roll on both the hem and on the sleeves, and that worked really, really well. Still a big fan of that baby hem trick. So yeah, that's how I finished everything off. And again, oh, I did shorten this an inch at the waist, so I brought the waist up an inch, and then I shortened the skirt an inch and a half. So this has been shortened a total of 2.5 inches over the whole pattern because I'm only 5'2". I knew I'd need to raise the waistline so that it hits me appropriately because I just have to do that on like all patterns. I have a very high waist and short torso, so I think that that worked out really well as well. So there we have it. those are my 4 Destashify makes for February. You'll notice I don't have a fabric haul. It has not come. So, and I have to get this video out. So, anyway, it'll be a surprise what we find Destashify wise next month, which will be exciting. And yeah, get back on track there. So, yeah, no fabric haul today, but next month will just be a very happy surprise. Okay, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. I hope it's sunny where you are. I hope you get some sewing in. And I will see you guys again on Tuesday for my spring capsule wardrobe and sewing plans. So I'll see you there. Have a good weekend.